Hey everybody, today I'm going to be tackling my third project for my Death Wobble fix. Sort of, even though I've already fixed the Death Wobble issue. First thing I did was to replace the ball joints. The next thing I did was replace the tie rod and drag link. And at this point, I'm pretty happy with where it's going, but it's already got 120-some thousand miles on it. And I don't know when the last time was the wheel bearings were replaced. And while I was in there, I figured I may as well do the brake calipers also, because there's something going on with the brakes. It's got a little bit of uneven braking. Like there's a bit of a shimmy whenever as soon as I hit the brakes, it's like it pulls right and then back left. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I figured new calipers couldn't hurt. Let's take a look at what I got. And yes, I know I've got a lot of boxes here, a lot of work to do, a lot of accessories. So let's sit down on the floor here and just see what's in the first box. Ah, this is pretty. So the first thing we got is the caliper from Power Stop in the signature red color. Looks like it comes with some little clippy pieces and some brass round thingies. I'm sure those have a very good purpose. And I'm really hopeful that this red matches the red on the Jeep because, I mean, that would just be cool, right? I don't know, I think it would be. Now, if you got a blue Jeep, it may not look right. So that means that's probably, again, what's in this box here. Yep, another shiny red caliper. The next thing on the pile is Timken engineered bearings and accessories. Let's see what's in the box. Got some paper and a wheel bearing. And a lot of plastic. This does have the ABS wire in it, because if you saw one of my other videos, you'll know that I already broke one of these. Maybe even two. Yep, that clippy end right there, that's what it needed. But may as well get some nice new bearings out of the deal, right? Let's wind this up, set this back in the box. And we can assume that's what's in the next Timken box also. Next up, let's see here. This is going to be the Rotors, I believe. Got some foam stuff. Ooh, not just any rotor. This is a drilled and slotted rotor. Again, from Power Stop, it comes with the set. I got the brake pads, rotors, and calipers all as one set. I figure it's just easier that way. Just give you a quick close-up here on the rotors. They are drilled and slotted, and nice crosshatch pattern. Very nice. Very nice, heavy-duty front passenger side. Oh, good. It even tells me which side it goes on, so I don't accidentally put this on the driver's side. And front driver's side is still in the box. Eventually, I'm going to have to replace the rear brakes, but you know, if money's not your thing, or at least you don't have to worry about it at all, go ahead and do all this at once. And on that note, if you're able to do everything that I was doing in these previous videos all at once, your ball joints, brakes, bearings, tie rod, drag link, I ran out of fingers. If you're able to do all that at once, it just makes it so much easier because it's like you're already in there. Just do it all at once. Next up, we got something from Rough Country. And inside the box, we have some shiny-ish, yeah, I can call those shiny, front and rear brake lines. These are designed for the, what was it, 4 to 6 inch lift. So hopefully they work well with mine. I think it's got a 3.5 inch lift. Pretty sure it's 3.5. Go ahead and put rear back in the box so I don't lose it. I'm totally gonna lose this. We'll just set this on the shelf back here with all the other parts that have yet to be installed. Of course, you gotta have some brake fluid. If you're gonna be doing a job like this, just go ahead and flush your brake lines. It makes sense. And then there's the Evolution Sport Carbon Fiber Ceramic Performance Pads. And more? Wow, I got a bunch of these things this time. Rock Auto sent me now 3. Got 2 of them just in this one box. Magnets. Very cool. Thanks, Rock Auto. Inside the brake pads, there's some new squishy things. These things right here, little black thingies. Get into that's greased. So if I mess up anything on the slide pins, I got a spare. It's always nice to have spares. I'll just add that to the parts pile. More clips, but I think, yes, the clips and everything came with. So I'm gonna have lots of extra clips and stuff. More pad clips, lots of pad clips. And the ever so important brake grease. Don't forget to grease your brakes. In the correct spot, of course. Now, all the rest of this is future videos. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, just go ahead and subscribe. There's gonna be a lot of videos coming out for Wranglers, garage stuff, golf cart stuff, all kinds of stuff. Never know what's gonna come out of this place. That just figures. All 3 magnets, same car. I have one main display with individual magnets for each car, and then I've got another spot to put my duplicates. It's like Pokemon, you gotta catch them all. Already making messes. All right, let's go ahead and get the golf cart out of here, the Jeep in here, and just throw all this stuff in. Super quick. Be done by lunch. Oh, great, now I'm gonna be here till tomorrow. Shouldn't have said anything, but it's already come apart once, twice, maybe even 3 times. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and try and get everything lined out for driver's side, passenger side, because some of these things are side specific. Some of these things are side specific, like the brake calipers, for instance. These are obviously some mirror images of each other. So I just want to make sure that I get the driver's side and passenger side on the right side, or the left side, you know, whichever one they go to. On each of these, there's going to be your line in and your bleeder valve right here. Go ahead and cap that. Bleeder valve is going to go on top. And since this is going to go on the wheel this way, bleeder valve on top this way, piston going this way, this will be the driver's side, which means if I put this one same way, the cylinder to the inside, bleeder valve to the top, that means this is going to be the passenger side. So I'm going to put the passenger side on the passenger side and the driver's side on the driver's side. That way I don't accidentally get them mixed up, because that would be like a huge problem. Next, I've got the rotors. This one says front passenger side. Set that over on the passenger side, get rid of that. And this should be the driver's side. Front driver's side. Yep, put that one over there. Making room already. Brake fluid's gonna go for both of them, so just set that in the middle. Brake pads, there's gonna be a right and left there. Just go ahead and set that there. Just go ahead and get this whole thing organized. Get the Jeep up in the air, pop tires off. I'll be right back with you. First things first, go ahead and get everything disassembled from here. I have already pre-treated this side with liquid wrench and the other side with Aerocroil, or the Croil oil. Not that there's any difference. I just like to, show that I'm not like biased to one or the other. Just to make this a little bit easier for myself, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the wheel all the way to the right, just to give me a little more room to work on that brake. As you can see a little better. It's here, 21. Yep, that looks like it works pretty well. And if you think that everything comes off for me pretty easy, you're probably right, because this has already come off not that long ago even. And this one especially, the one up on top, it came off so easily because I forgot to torque it down. So when I get these bolts out, you're gonna see that top one is very shiny and new looking, because it is. Nothing more fun than driving down the road, hearing a big old grindy brake sound and going, ooh, wow, that's not good, what happened there? I know the top of my rotor here is a bit cleaner than it should be probably. And there you go. Can you guess which one's the new one? Of course not. Set those off to the side. You know what, I'm gonna make this really easy on myself. I'm gonna go ahead and take this brake line off, while this is just kind of hovering right here, because that brake line's gonna come off too. Something I just noticed, and I hope it's not that big of a deal, but this brake line up here at the top, apparently I'm missing the bolt for that. So hopefully that doesn't become a major issue for me. Oh look, a rock. So it's here, it's probably a 10 millimeter. Let's go ahead and take this off and get this thing loosened. Now there's a little clippy thing here on the back that's got to slide out. And it looks like my shock tower is right in the way. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this ABS line, see if that gives me just a little bit more room. ABS line's right up here to the top behind this big old shock tower thing. Just feel around for it, you'll feel the little clippy thing. Just unsnappy the thing to the front here. Little red clippy thing. Push that thingy in and pop it out. There it goes. Now hopefully I can yank this thing out, because we don't really care how this thing comes out. Ah, there we go. There we go. Lots of room, plenty of room. Oh man, I wish I had gotten a better view of that so you just see me yanking that thing out. Oh well, you get the point. It got yanked out. Just rip it out. This is all getting replaced anyway. Well, if you're like doing it like I am, this is all getting replaced. Now I've heard of a bunch of different ways to get these brake lines off of here. I believe it is a 12 millimeter. They do make special wrenches for this that kind of slide in and give you an extra little bit of a, just a little bit more teeth to tight grab onto. I'm just gonna try this without doing anything and see if I can, nope, not really. Maybe use some vice grips to get just a little bit better of a grip on it. Nope, don't think that worked well either. How about a little heat? There we go. That's all it took, just a little bit of heat. Something sizzling in here. Maybe I cooked off a little bit of the brake fluid. I'm gonna pull this off. I'm sure it's just gonna start leaking like crazy. So I've got a container down here below to catch everything. Oh, there we go. Okay, guess that's it. Yeah, you're gonna let that thing drip, rattle, and roll for just a little bit while I continue on disconnecting all the rest of this. Now this caliper should just slide right off with the rotor. Hey, there we go. All nice one piece. I do want to get this rotor off because I'm going to use it for another project. I do welding stuff too. So maybe you want to subscribe to the channel, like the video maybe. We'll see what we can make this into. Some kind of junkyard art maybe, like a peacock or a roadrunner or something crazy like that. Now the next fun thing is going to be taking this back off. I am going to go ahead and break this bolt loose first before I break these loose. And these just came off not too long ago. But I'm gonna go ahead and hit them up with some oil just cuz. And I'm pretty sure this is a 35 millimeter. What is this? 35 millimeter. If you don't already have a 35 millimeter, there's a nice little set. Of course, on Amazon. I'll put links down in the description. And hopefully this Harbor Freight Impact, along with the liquid wrench I've already put on here, is enough to break it loose. Let's see. The whole time this whole thing was moving. Front drive shaft is even going. Something I just thought about, there's good reason to replace these axle nuts whenever you replace the wheel bearing here. And I didn't see a new axle nut in the box. It may just be something that you want to pick up. I'll go ahead and reuse this one just because I'm like that. I'll reuse it. And if I'm not mistaken, that is a 12.13 millimeter. Let me double check that. Yes, 12.13 millimeter is what goes on those. So if you don't have a 12 point, a normal socket's gonna be a 6 point. So this would be the little star shaped one, 12 point. That's what goes on these things. Fits on nicely right there. I need a wrench. Nope, I got one here. And if you're having issues getting to those nuts, you can just rotate the axle around using these bolts here. Might have been off recently, so they're gonna come out quite a bit easier than what yours may. But loosen that up, rotate this around. Loosen that one up a bit. Oh, may have to move the steering wheel. Rotate this thing around a bit. I know you can't see this over here. Just trust me, it looks just like the other ones. And if you find you're having a much more difficult time than this getting these things done, take a look at my other video where I replaced these ball joints right here. These are ball joint deletes right here, so I went ahead and replaced those not too long ago. These are the American Iron, I think they're called. Yeah, American Iron, pretty sure. Ball joint deletes. A little pricey, but you shouldn't ever have to replace your ball joints ever again, which that's a bonus. And since that's where a lot of the wiggle and jiggle comes from when you're talking about the Death Wobble, a small investment once, you know, if you're gonna be keeping your Jeep for a while, maybe that's worth it. I thought it was worth it anyway, because I'm never getting rid of this thing. If the insurance company takes it away from me, I'll just buy it back. Unless there's like some seriously major damage to it. You know, like it gets flipped upside down and crushed. Okay, set these off to the side. And now for me, this thing should pop off real easy. I'll just use this little hammer here. If you got a slide hammer, something goes nice, little bop, bop, bop. That could be very helpful as well, but I don't anticipate any issues here, for me anyway. Because like I said, this thing was just out not too long ago. Yep, there it goes. Just jam that thing down in there. There we go. All right, it's out. Easy peasy. I highly doubt that anyone else's real world experience is gonna be as easy as that unless you have recently done this yourself. And now this can go in the junk pile. Oh, you know, it's a good part when you see Chinese writing. No real name can I find on here anywhere, but we got some Chinese characters right here. Oh wait, there's something else in here too. I'm using my old man reading glasses. I-L-J-I-N, Iljin. So if you know what that is, I don't know. I mean, it still feel kind of okay. I don't know, they may have been fine. But this one kept giving me intermittent ABS sensor codes. And since I don't really want to mess with stuff like that, or I know you can replace this wire for like 12, 15 bucks. I mean, at a certain point, I don't know how many miles this bearing has on it. Peace of mind is worth more than, you know, a few bucks to me in this case. All right, now everything else goes back in reverse order, sort of. Something that's kind of interesting. I went ahead and Googled it and then took a look at the Timken bearing that I got. And apparently the Iljin bearing produces a lot of the bearings for a lot of the OEMs. According to the Googles, they manufacture a lot of the OEMs like Hyundai, Kia, GM, Ford, Nissan, BMW, Mercedes, and a lot of others. FAG, BCA, Delco, Motorcraft also, or SKF even, is a reboxer of them. It just looks like they have different tolerance standards or quality standards for the bearings themselves or the production methods. So I don't know, it could have been a very good bearing. It may not have been, I don't know. All I know is that this one's better because it's new. Right? So let's go ahead and just shove this guy in there. Give it a little wiggle wiggle. Oh man, that is so much easier than what I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was gonna have to like wail on it and jam on it and stuff. Although I do know that I cleaned up the bearing surface in here, or the, wow, just see how easy that was. I cleaned this up not too long ago. Even though it does have some surface rust on it, I did wire brush this pretty good, just, you know, with a hand brush the last time. So yeah, this thing's just gonna slide right on in. Nice and easy peasy. I can go ahead and wrap this wire around here, put my 13mm bolts back in it. And now that I got this thing all in here, does anyone else think that I missed something? Like the dust cover. I swear I don't do this intentionally, but as I keep saying, if you love doing a job once, may as well do it twice. Let's go ahead and take this thing off again. Do it right the first time, you wouldn't have to do it twice. Something to keep in mind. All right, I think I got that going good now. I think that's the right way. Is that the right way? Pretty sure it's the right way. All right, let's go ahead and put these things back in yet again and move on to something more interesting. All right, there we go. That's looking so much better. Oh no. Oh man, I was trying to keep my hands clean too. Look at that. Well, went ahead and busted through rubber, so I guess it's time to take a break and put a new one on. Something else I'm wondering is how well this is gonna route around without the little clampy thing down here to clip you into, because the new brake line doesn't have that. Nor does it have the little clampy things to put on here to route it around the shock tower here. That's gonna be interesting. I'll figure that out here in just a few minutes. I gotta get a new rubber. Let's see, I got this thingy to here. Oh yeah, I had to figure out the brake line thing. Tell you what, I'm gonna assemble the brakes on the side rather than putting them on and then assembling them. You know, why not? I can, I do what I want. So I was taking a look at the brake lines here, and it appears as if the front brakes here, and I did verify that these were the front, there's a little bit of an offset to these. And what's weird is they don't have the same offset. Interesting, right? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I figure if this thing goes on the front here, go ahead and make it offset to that side so that it goes, you know, away from the whole thing. Because I don't think that's gonna work too well. Or maybe I have to Go at it that way? I don't know. Guess we'll have to see which way is better, which way looks best. We got the old one here, and it goes up and around to the that-a-way. So if I take the new one here, and I put this one to the that-a-way, that would make it look like that there. Is that right? Yeah, I guess that's how it would do. There's gonna be a little crush washer-y thing. I guess you can put that any way you want. I don't know. Somebody drop something in the comments, let me know. Can I put this thing just any orientation or any direction that I want? You know, just cause, just for fun? Or does it specifically have to go back in there the right direction that-a-way? You know, is there a right or wrong way to connect this thing? Put something in the comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. What does it matter? I guess I'm gonna put mine back this way just because that's the way they came out. That's what the old one looks like. In the little parts bag here, we got some, a little bit of everything. But I'm gonna need 2 of these crush washers, one for inside and one for the outside. Oh, and I just realized there's no bolt here either, so I'm gonna have to pull the bolt off the old brakes. Looks like I'm gonna need that after all. And that appears to be a 15 millimeter. Oh, you know what? This would have been way easier to get off when it was on the vehicle. Yeah, okay, so that wasn't so bad. Oh yeah, he's got one of those specialty bolt things, because it's gotta have the, it's gotta be that special kind of bolt that's got the little hole in it so that the fluid can get through. So that makes sense, I guess. Okay, now which one did I say was going on there? This one or this one? Let's see, it was going on this direction, I believe. No shortage of these brass things. It's nice that they include them with both the caliper and brake lines. So now I can put this on here, and hopefully it's not cross-threading. It kind of got stiff all of a sudden. Nope, that's just how it is. I'm just gonna kind of put this thing on tight enough for now. I'll go ahead and work about torquing it down, because I think that matters on these, and it's supposed to be around 25 or 30 foot-pounds. I'll just kind of put it, you know, tight enough for now. And once it's on there, give it a good crank with the proper torque. Or at least I hope it's the proper torque. Now I just gotta figure out how these doodoppies work. So I think this thingy goes into here, and this thingy gets slammed into there or something. I think that's kind of how it works. Let me put it on the vehicle and see what this thing does. Oh, we need a rotor first. Let's go ahead and get this guy on there too. Ooh, look at how pretty shiny that is. Front driver's side. Okay, it's always good to make sure that you gotta have the right one. Just to make my life a little bit easier, I have this wheel extension. I'm gonna go ahead and probably clean that up just a little bit. That way I don't have to worry about this thing flopping around when I'm putting the caliper on. Oh, and brake pads. Forgot to put the brake pads in there. Now, who here can name something that I have missed already? Because I see a very large nut sitting on the ground. And I really hope that I can get that thing in here now. Yeah, it should still work. There we go, we'll just twisty everything in all at the same time. I'm sure it's not hurting anything. Crank this thing down. Wish I had somebody to step on the brakes. Hey, if you got a friend that can step on brakes, that would help during this part of the process. Oh wait, no, there's no brakes to be doing this. Okay, never mind. My bad. Sometimes I just refuse to use the brain. It hurts the brain sometimes. There we go. The easy way. Let's go ahead and just slam this thing in here as hard as the Harbor Freight impact will slam it in. See what happens, see how it goes. What's the worst that could happen? Don't answer that. Well, it stopped moving, so that must be tight enough. Now, a smart person that was a mechanic would tell you to use a chisel or something and notch the edge of that nut right there to kind of lock it in. But it doesn't look like it was done like that to begin with, and I think this thing does 185, I think it does 185 foot-pounds. Maybe it's more. Either way, this should be good enough. I don't think my axle will fall out. I hope it doesn't. All right, brake pads. This should be easy, right? Oh man, I think I was destroying another glove. All right, so brake pads should be easy. What are the chances that they got these things right and left like this? Nope, those look identical. So let's go with one of those. Set the other one off to the side. And these have little scratcher fingers. Put one of these in here, and one for the other side. Scratcher finger inside, outside. Again, down in the comments, what do you think? I usually put the scratcher on the away from the wheel side. Which way do you usually do it? Or do I put them on the wheel side? Which way do I do that? Oh great, now I gotta think about it and look. I am gonna make this easier though on myself. I am going to take the caliper outside the little squeezy thing. The bracket, take the bracket off the squeezy thing. That's what it is. Go ahead and put the bracket up top here so I can just swing this thing up and slap the pads in and then swing it back down. Should be easier that way. Should be, but never really is ever for me. All right, so I took the bottom one out. So that should swing like so. Now I can, how's this thing go on here? Inside, outside. Let's go ahead and stick this one on the top. The pretty one, you know, the new one. And then stick this ugly one down on the bottom. 22? Yeah, it's 22. But now I can get these things cranked down kind of tight back here. One on the top and one on the bottom. Oh, I thought you could see that a little better than that. Oh well, I'm sure you get the point. Nut on the top and then one right down here. Nut on the bottom. Can you see that? Maybe you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. Top, bottom. It's where the bracket goes. Okay, what did I say? Scratcher to the inside, outside. Oh, I need my little clippy things. No shortage of clippy things with this whole setup. Hincho in China. Wow, that's just a kick in the teeth, isn't it? And I think these are all the same. Put a little clippy thing there and there. There. Just so you can see, these things have a like a swoopy thing, and then a little holdy thing, and a little swoopy thing. So the little swoopy thing goes on the other side, not the brake pad side, the the outside. So for here, it'd come on the outside here, and then for the inside, it goes on the other side. So you put the little clippy thing down, then slap it down over. So clippy thing up here, and just snap it on over. And then if you're the kind of people that use the brake grease, this is where you put it on. And I just put a little dabble-do-ya here, little dabble-do-ya, oops, it's on my thumb, up there. It's easier to do it that way. Little dabble-do-ya right down in there at the bottom, and a little dabble-do-ya on the, how do I get my finger up in here? There, right there. That's your scratcher thing to the bottom. Is that right? You want it to scratchy. So if you put it on the inside, it's on the bottom, and it scratches this away. And if you put it on the top, it scratches this way, going this way, which might be the better way to do it. I don't know, again, just drop something in the comments. I think I'm just gonna put it in here, because these are my brakes. I do what I want. Wiggle, wiggle. And she's in there. Oh, you're gonna be a pain, aren't you? Let me just smack you in there. All right, maybe that's not the best way to do it, because I'm gonna bend the boogers out of this thing. Good thing we got lots of extras. Don't forget the dabble-do-ya up in there. I put it on the side. I'm sure it'll work its way around. Dabble-do-ya, seriously. You don't need much, just enough, better than nothing. All right, so slide you in there, and then twist. Hey, there we go, pops right in. So yeah, give it an inserty and a twist. And that goes right in there. Now that should slide right on down. Oh, look at how pretty that is. Now this bolt right here goes, you know, the bottom where I pulled it out from here and into the little slidey pin. Something like right down there. Give that a nice little tighten up. And I need a wrench. Let's see here, eeny, meeny, miny. It's miny. 16 for the power stops anyway. Your measurements may vary. Now I gotta figure out the brake lining thing. And I'm almost wondering if I could just, you know, just screw it in there like that. Is there gonna be any issues with that? Oh, we gotta put this little thing on here too. So when I get a screw, that needs to go in there like that. And then this thing gets smashed in here like that with a hammer or whatnots. But what's gonna keep this out of the suspension? That's what concerns me. There has got to be a better way. If somebody knows a better way, please drop it in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say. I am just going to stick this thing on here and then curvy this thing around about how I want it to sit, and then just stick this thing in here and tighten it down. And hopefully that's good enough. And I might have to rotate that thing around just a little bit more, something like that. But I don't want it to get hit by the spring, don't want it to get hit by the tire. I don't know, that just doesn't look like a very good setup. I may zippy strip this thing into this line here, just kind of hold them both together. I don't know, I'm gonna get this thing screwed onto here and go from there. Okay, so I just got this thing kind of cranked around to right about there. I think this bracket doesn't quite fit in the right spot either. Gotta pull that a bit. I'm gonna see what I can do to get that bolt replaced. But for now, I think I'm just gonna let it hang out right there. Please, somebody drop something in the comments below. Let me know how to best hold this thing up and together, because I do not want this thing to get bound up, ripped off, frayed, anything like that. All right, so what else do we have to do here? I guess it's just put the wheel back on. Guess we're good for now. No, we're not good. I'm gonna hold off on putting the wheel back on, because these brakes are gonna have to be bled quite a bit, because there's a lot of drippies that came out of that thing. And of course, this cylinder will need to get filled back up. I'm gonna go ahead and go over to the passenger side, see if I can come up with a catchy tune about how something's smooth and fast and going slow to be fast. Maybe you'll recognize this, or at least recognize some of it.
Hit the brake pedal, dive to the ditch. Braking system's got a little glitch. Pulls to the right when I try to stop. The pedal feels mushy, like a bucket of slop. The dash is glowing in amber light. Sensors are trash, got that ABS blight. Wheel hubs are crunching, sensors are fried. It's a sketchy adventure every ride. Calipers, pads, and brand new lines. Rotors and hubs, yeah, really shines. Out on the trail where the rocks are steep, there's a little room we try to keep. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. On the rocky trail or the concrete path. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Rush the wrench and you'll feel the wrath. I'm rushing the wrench, making mistakes, learning the hard way how to fix these brakes. Crack the brake line. line, fluid sprayed my face. Moving too quick, it's a losing race. Air in the lines, pedal went to the floor. Had to tear it all off, do it once more. I jammed the new hub, I forgot the dust shield. My lack of patience has been revealed. I gotta start over, take it piece by piece. Covered in sweat, elbow deep in grease. I'm covered in crud, sweat drips in my eye. I know I'll fix it, give it one more try. Gotta calm down, stop acting a fool, and listen to the old mechanic's rules. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. On the rocky trail or the concrete path. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Rush the wrench and you'll feel the wrath. I'm rushing the wrench, making mistakes, learning the hard way. How to fix these brakes. Took a deep breath, laid the parts on the ground. Did it right first time, no messing around. Lines are tight, sensors are plugged. Gave the wheel nuts a final tug. The ABS is off, the pulling is gone. Only took me 8 hours, but I'm finally done. Smooth is fast. On the rocky trail or the concrete path. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Rush the wrench and you'll feel the wrath. I'm rushing the wrench, making mistakes, learning the hard way. How to fix these brakes. Slow is smooth and smooth is slow is smooth. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Smooth is fast. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
All right, well that's done. That didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would the second time. Now it's time to bleed the brakes. Yay, I'm almost done. And now comes the fun part. Putting a bunch of brake fluid into this container right here. Pop the little yellow lid, and apparently mine's low. Probably because it's been dripping for a while. I'm gonna go ahead and top it up all the way to the tippy top, and then I'll show you how I'm going to bleed these over on the other side. Normally when bleeding brakes, you want to start with the furthest one from here and go down to the closest one. Furthest one is gonna be your passenger side rear, then your driver's side rear, then your passenger side front, then your driver's side front. Since I didn't mess with the rear ones, I'm gonna assume they're probably still okay. I'll find out when I hit the brakes the first time, or second or third. Gonna recap this and just set the cap loosely on here. Now let's go over to the other side. And this is my one-person brake bleeder. This is my one-person brake bleeder. It's got a little cap thing that comes off. It's got a little straw that hangs down towards the bottom. It's got a little hanger strap, and it's got a magnet. Kind of like that, just sticks up there. Pull this one over here. That way you can get a good suction, seal. I don't know how this thing works. It's like vacuum or something. Spin that brake caliper around, and let's take a look-see over here on the back side. And right here is gonna be the bleeder little nipple. Whoa, hey, that's a little bit too rough. Don't be so rough with the nipple. And that should be an 8mm, but it is not. Let's try a 10. Yep, 10 works just fine. Let's get a wrench. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just kind of crack this thing open a bit. That way you can go ahead and start flowing. I'm gonna take my bottle here, connect it up here to this little nipple up here on top. That's like a silicone type of straw. And then I'm gonna add just a little bit of brake fluid into here. I've got an old bottle. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna be used really. Not like it's gonna get sucked up in there. It's still good. Still good color. That should be enough. Just enough to hit the bottom of the straw so it doesn't suck up any air once it goes in. And now I'm just gonna magnetize this thing to something over here. There we go. And let's just put it on the knuckles, that way you can see it real well. And now when I go inside and I pump the brakes, it's going to shoot all the air out of this line and start filling this thing up with fluid. And as the air gets pushed up and out, it'll then come up the straw right here. And then it should, you know, flush all the air out. Let's see how this works. I'm gonna give it about 10 pumps, let's say. And it'll make a huge mess? Nope, not really. There's some good dark colored stuff in here though. I'll go ahead and give it a few more squirts. And we got something dripping here. What is dripping? Is it dripping from here? Dripping from here? No drips. I see drips. I don't know where they came from. Maybe it's from under here. Let me get a torque wrench on that. Make sure that one's tight. Yep, that was just a little bit loose. It was just a couple pounds off. So I'm gonna give it a few more pumps, see if we can get some more of this air out and any other dischargey looking junky stuff that's right here. I'm sure you can see the color difference from the old stuff to the new stuff that went through the lines. And it wasn't really that long ago when I did this. I'll give it 5 more pumps, see what happens. And don't forget to come over here every so often, but every 10 or 15 pumps and fill it back up. Because you really don't want this to go dry. Because if this goes dry, then you're just pumping air right back into your system, which is not what you're trying to do. Just the opposite, actually. And this side appears to be good. Got a lot of that dark stuff out. No more air bubbles in the tube here that I can see. I believe that we got everything. It might be a little bit of drips left there. I'll keep an eye on that. Actually, that could very well be from the bleeder valve up top. That might be where the drips are coming from. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down before I pull this straw off and go over to the driver's side. Put the cap back on here. Now I just need to dump this into the oil refuse thing, just kind of get the about half of this out. Just like on the passenger side, go ahead and stick this thingy up here somewhere, put this rubber hose on here, crack this open nice and gentle like, give it a few pumps and see what happens. I lost count of my pumps, but it appears to be pretty clean inside. Go ahead and give it a few more just to make sure I get all the dirty stuff out after I check my reservoir. Gotta do that first. Well, I'm gonna say that's about as clean as it's gonna get. Go ahead and tighten this thing back up, about like so. Give it a little pinch, drain all that down into the thing, get that all cleaned up, and I guess put the wheels back on and see what happens. With any luck, it stops. I should probably check the other side, just make sure that it's not leaking anymore. This side, no drips, no nothing. Not from the top, not from the bottom. All good. Oh, put my little nipple cap back on. Did I say cap or clamp? You know what I'm talking about. Oh, one thing I just noticed that I didn't do, this little lock shoe thing, that needs to get jammed up in there. This driver's side here I'm gonna hold off on just because I need to get the bolt for that, but that just needs to get bolted to there, and then this thingy gets jammed right in there to hold that thing tight so it doesn't twist around or, you know, flop around or anything. Just take a little hammer, knock that in. I'm not gonna do that here now because I still need to get the bolt for that. But that doesn't need to be done. The braking period that I'm going to do on my brakes is I'm going to speed up to about 40-45 miles an hour and do 5 aggressive decelerations, just stomp on the brakes. Take that down to about 10 miles an hour. Then I'm gonna do some moderate decelerations from 35 to about 5. Do that about 5 more times. Then I'm gonna go cruise around for just a few minutes just to make sure that it's all cooled down nicely. And if at all possible, try not to just stop at a red light behind somebody and just hold your brake pedal down and just keep those pads roasting right there in one specific spot. That's a good way to warp them. Ask me how I know. That was a long red light, like 5 minutes. It took it forever, probably just 2 minutes. But still, you don't want to go roasting one spot really hot. Try and keep it moving. All right, there we go. Done by lunch, just like I said. Or dinner. Maybe it's done by dinner. Should have said done by dinner. One more mess to clean up and that should be good. So that's the paradigm for today. It may not be the right one, but hey, that's the channel. If you had fun or entertained or learned something, I'd really appreciate it if you like and subscribe, comment, share. All that stuff really helps out the channel. If you need more bad examples in your life, you may not be getting enough sun, but that's what the channel page is for. Take a look around, check out some of the other videos. Special thanks to all my subscribers out there. If you want to help support the channel, click on any of the links down below in the description. Buy whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be one of those things that's down there. Every referral purchase makes future videos possible. Have fun, stay safe, and know that you are appreciated. Before installing your new calipers, it's strongly recommended that you check your owner's manual for the change interval and what kind of fluid you take. Any contaminated brake fluid that may be in your lines will expose you to future damages, which you don't want to do that. Failures such as leaking brake calipers, leaking master cylinder, and damaged ABS pump, and failing brake lines, it's no fun. Just don't do that. Get all that stuff flushed out before you put new lines and calipers in. It's best to replace your brake fluid before the damage occurs to the braking system components instead of after, when you just replace all your brand new stuff.